my name's Jesslyn, and I am going to teach you how to factor by completing the square. So first of all, we're just gonna practice on completing the square. If I have two terms, x squared plus 6x, and I say, what number right here would complete the square? So here's how you find that number. You take the middle term, you divide it by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then you take that term and you square it. So 3 squared is 9. And that is your magic number, okay? That is your magic number. So again, take the middle term and the one that has the coefficient in front of the x or the y or something that only has an exponent of 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then square that and you get 9. That is your magic number. Okay, and the reason why is because when we factor this, we notice that our two end numbers are squares, and so square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 9 is 3. And then we know that that middle number, because 3 plus 3 is 6, we know that it factors. You should know how to factor complete our perfect squares. And if you don't, there's a video of me, so complete perfect squares. So it factors x plus 3, x plus 3. So that is how you find your magic number to complete the square. Okay, so let's do one. We have x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to take the constant and take it over to the other side. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides because I need to move that so I can complete this square. And then again, I'm going to say, what's my magic number here? But 0 plus 16 is 16. Okay, and it's always going to be addition. Okay, always going to be addition there. We're always adding the magic number. Okay, we'll always be adding the magic number. So take the middle term, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 3 squared is 9, so my magic number is 9. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Since I added 9 to this left side, I have to add 9 to this right side too. Do not forget that step. Okay, so in this case, then we can factor this. So it'd be x minus 3 times x minus 3. And the reason why it's minus is because the middle term has a subtraction. Okay, we can rewrite this as x minus 3 to the second power, because we're still solving, equals 25. And since this says to the second power and we only want one of them, we're going to take the square root. So when you take the square root of x minus 3 to the second power, you just get one of them, x minus 3. And then what we do to one side, you have to take the other. Square root of 25 is 5. So here's the tricky thing. Since we're taking the square root of 25, then it can be plus or minus, it can equal plus or minus 5, because negative 5 to the second power is 25, and so is positive 5 to the second power. So basically, we're solving two different things. X minus 3 to the positive 5, and x minus 3 is equal to a negative 5, because the square root of 25 can be either positive 5 or negative 5. And we'll solve them both. They have the same, there's okay to have two answers. So add 3 to both sides here, x equals 8. Over here we add 3 to both sides, but x equals negative 2. And both of these will satisfy that, okay? And that's how you do it by completing the square. Let's do another one. They all don't turn out that perfectly, but it's okay. Okay, x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. The first thing is to move this over, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So x squared minus 2x plus, remember we always add that magic number, then 0 plus 5 is 5. Okay, we always add that magic number. So remember how to find that magic number. Take the middle term, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and square it. 1 squared is 1. So that's my magic number. I added 1 here. I have to add 1 there. Have to keep it balanced, so 6. And then I can factor this. X squared minus 2x plus 1 factors to x minus 1, x minus 1. That operation is always going to match that middle operation. I'm going to rewrite it as x minus 1 squared equals 6. And again, to just get one binomial, we take the square root. And so we have x minus 1. Now, the square root of 6 is not perfect. Ooh, a little tricky. But what we can do is just leave it in that form. Remember, we can take the plus or minus value of whatever that square root is, because squaring a negative number gives you that positive number too. So we want to write that. And then we're adding 1 to both sides, right? We're still solving. So we have x is equal to plus or minus 6 plus 1. And we can leave it in this form. If you want to rewrite it and write both of them, as in like positive 6 plus 1, or the opposite of negative 6, negative square root 6 plus 1, you can do it that way too. But this satisfies when you have the plus or minus there as well, because you want to continue to solve for x. You could put this in your calculator and find a decimal approximate, but a lot of teachers like you to leave it in square root form. Okay, they just want to know if you know how to complete the square. Okay, thank you for watching. That is completing the square.